Leviathan, right? What is going on? I assure you, always under control. I'm not going to ask you again. Who are you?
Interpol. Just like this. One of them's Interpol.
Do you know why do you know why? I have a joke for you. Do you know why they call them gangsters? Because the word faggot was already taken. A gangster is somebody who collaborates, conspires, who banters among their friends, who nudges a group. They get together, whether they know each other or not, whether they like each other or not, and they go, we're gonna pick on one person. And guess when that starts? Guess when that behavior starts? When you're a fucking toddler. So there are people in positions of power. The FBI, the CIA, the criminal injustice system, cops, lawyers, judges, district attorneys, politicians, people all over the fucking planet whose minds never developed past being a toddler. Because growing out of gang-related activity is one of the principal behaviors of becoming an adult, is recognizing how fucking stupid it is to gang up and bully somebody. To gang up on and bully somebody. That shit lasts until fucking high school. And then, you know, historically speaking, there was a moral sense of moral compulsion, knowing the difference between right and wrong, when adults, like once you leave high school at the very least, you become a quote-unquote adult. And there was once upon a time in this country when the recognition of the difference between right and wrong was so baked in that even if somebody didn't want to act like an adult, they were compelled to. Again, because it was shameful not to. And now, we live on the precipice of a new world. Transition between the most childish King Joffrey-esque type motherfuckers, and what's inevitably going to be either their downfall or the downfall of our civilization. One of the two. One of the two. It's got to happen. It's going to happen. It is. They're either going to act right. Hey. There's a song on the Dr. Dre album called Act Right. What do act right mean? Hey, what act right mean? It's ghetto slang for act right. It's in the vocabulary of the underclass. Behaving correctly. There's Ebonics. There's African American vernacular English has a term that involves basically advocating for morally proper behavior. That's where I come from. It's the ghetto. White trash. Act right. Motherfucking act right. Do the psychopaths in power have a word? Do they even remember the basic philosophical fucking foundations and underpinnings of the very thing that they rule over? How many powerful people can engage in a philosophical discussion? How many? Or people with like an audience? I would say there is one who happens to be white. I was listening to NPR. I listen to a lot of NPR. There's a guy who recently he was discussing. I think he was the guy interviewing the Eddington filmmaker. And he was talking about the George Floyd blah blah blah. One of the biggest fucking psyops I've ever seen. It's so stupid. What's even dumber is that the evidence for the fuckery and tomfoolery is on display for everybody. You just gotta. The only reason you would not watch this film you would refuse to watch this film is because you hate black people. You hate the truth. You hate what they did to George Floyd. You hate everything. You just want mayhem. You thrive on it. It's the only reason you would not watch it. But this guy's a philosopher. Pretty sure. I'm sure he would put it in his I run free domain. Yeah, but do you... What else do you do? Ugh. Trackers, dude. I get it. I understand. You need the metrics. You want to know how many people visited your website because of the fact that you put it on Twitter. But look how fucking annoying it is. You're not resolving because it says HTTPS, but oh my god. What is it? freedomain.com. Okay, let's stop the bullshit. Molyneux, if you're not HTTPS only, you're fucking retarded for a philosopher. Isn't he a philosopher? I want to make sure. I need to make sure. Number one philosophy show. Jesus. About Stefan Malini. Fucking white boy. Fucking white boy ass motherfucker. I really am getting old. I am getting old. Malami. Malini is the founder of Free Domain, popular philosophy show in the world. Malini holds a master's in history. He's a master's in history. His graduate thesis focused on the history of philosophy. Detailing the relationship between the metaphysical arguments and the political ethics of major Western philosophers such as Plato, Kant, Locke, and Hegel. Let's see if I can remember their full names. Plato is just a mononym, I believe. Plato and his muse Socrates. Wasn't that how it went? And then John Locke. No, that's fucking. Forgot who Locke. Why am I thinking of Rousseau? Immanuel Kant. Existentialism. Another one of my influences. As long as we're fucking keeping track. There was a really excellent film made by Austin, Texas native Richard Linklater. It was about existentialism, basically. It was called Waking Life. I watched that shit on repeat. It was like my go to bed, like put a DVD on and go and fucking pass out. And I would dream about waking life. And I would wake up to that accordion, I think, menu screen. Excellent film. Richard Linklater. One of the few. One of the last. I hope he's still around. Maybe I can go find him. Maybe I can see if he's here in Austin. And I can go find him and tell him my story. Boo. Boo. Bitch. Bitch. We have tabs to close. We have and right here, this website, thefallofminneapolis.com, is an excellent example of pure internet non-fuckery. Because if you look at the bottom, it's just sitting. There's nothing on their server that's saying, I want to be a fucking parasite. There's nothing in their fucking. Let's see if I scroll. There's nothing just hanging out on their website that's saying, I want to parasitize this fucking guy. I want to parasitize the fucking people who visit my fucking website. I want to be a parasite. Now let's go to x.com. And all I'm going to do is hover. Well, okay. I'm going to navigate now. Which again means I'm going to go, hey, server, send me more information that my program will load. What information would you like? I would like this information. No, not that. I'm gonna learn to code eventually. I might just learn to code because I don't know how to code, and it's important also for me to have this honest like dialogue out loud, is because the myriad potential fucking fuckery bullshit that these nigger faggot fucks, kikes, bikes, kikes, at the top of the pyramid, the things that I can imagine them doing, it really is a matter of just me, like the very fact of my creativity has been the saving grace. This is why I'm so religious, because I know that creativity is divine. I know it. I watch on a regular basis. I don't know how many times. I wish YouTube would tell you how many times you've watched a video. You personally. Like how, I don't know if it does. But there you go, right at the top. Elizabeth Gilbert, the author of Eat, Pray, Love. I have watched this over the years since it was posted religiously, at least once a year, because she, in the most articulate and entertaining and almost confounding way, poses one of the most fundamental and important philosophical conversation, like quagmires of the modern age. And she's really fucking good at it. And what she basically explains is, if I could brutally fucking summarize it, is that creative people suffer unnecessarily because our society places an undue burden of expectation upon them by feeding their ego and ascribing their works, their creativity, to them individually as a frail and fragile human. And it is just factually, historically speaking, has never been the case. Modern psychology and psychiatry, satanic fucking witchcraft version of confession, like religion, doesn't have it. The closest thing they would have is the unconscious, the Freudian and Jungian unconscious. That's where creativity comes from. It's in your brain somewhere, and it just comes out. But Elizabeth Gilbert explains like why it's important to actually understand that creative people have to distance themselves from their art, because for the past at least 5 years of my life, I've been doing the work of some cosmic fucking jester of some sort. And the whole thing is like I can see what this thing wants. This like cave dwelling, this cave dwelling creative genie that is attending me, this attendant spirit. It has everything to do with morality and saying, hey guys, whoa, 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 come on. I do not want to see the fucking United States disintegrate into nothingness. And the only way to make sure that that is not going to happen is to protect free speech and advocate for the public square, the open exchange of honest dialogue. It's the only way to prevent it from crumbling. Especially now that the nepotistic fucking, the inheritors of all this wealth, my generation, millennials, who have inherited all this wealth, and instead of, and I don't mean all millennials are rich, I'm saying it's our time. Like, but Donald Trump isn't even relevant. Elon Musk isn't even relevant. The most relevant, the things that are the most relevant, the things that are relevant are the positions within society that are being held by the people who grew up without the internet, who were growing before the internet and during the emergence of the internet. And that is the millennial generation from 1980 to 1996, I think. If you were born in that era, you are responsible for some of the most important aspects of human struggles, human survival, the continuity of the entire fucking human project right now. And if you are going into the 21st century teaching your children to be afraid of words like nigger, like if you're shopping for fucking food and you go, hey, grab me a bottle of vinegar, and your mixed race daughter says, what'd you say, Mom? And then you get on your knees and start licking their toes, your child's toes. I'm sorry, I said vinegar. If you're teaching your children to be afraid of words, you're dropping the fucking ball. Because do you know how many more horrible things there are in the world than sounds that people make with their mouth? Do you? Do you want to? I'll fucking show you. And my sister. I mean, I'm gonna try to knock out as much of this as I possibly can. I'm gonna try to remain focused. By the way, housekeeping. If I was able to. If at any point in the future I continue doing these and having nobody interact with me, which is hilarious, it's really just me and the federal government. It's just me and William Prettyman. I know he's watching them religiously, probably jacking off. Hi, Willie. And he knows where to find me. That's the funny fucking thing. He knows exactly where I am. And I know he knows. How could he possibly know? He fucking knows. Because there's a horde of gang stalkers constantly following me. And he has direct involvement with that. So if he wanted to have a conversation with me, he could just fucking walk right up to me. And if he's afraid, Anyway. Right. Is that right? Is that right? Same thing happened last time. What's gonna happen, guys? What's gonna happen? Same thing happened last time. What you gonna do? You gonna make me restart, recalibrate, what are you gonna make me do? You're gonna fucking hijack my goddamn... You're gonna hijack my mother? Fucking... Grok connection? You're gonna fucking fuck with my Grok connection? I think I might. Start with a pledge of allegiance of ethnic slurs. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the niggers, and to the kikes, and to the faggots, and to the guapos, and to the fucking guidos, and to the organized criminals who run the businesses that I rely on to survive. Fuck around and find out. Fuck around and find out. Fuck around, finding out. Fucking around and finding out. What are we doing? What are we doing? We're fucking around and finding out. And that's how we play handy hands. Fucking around, we're fucking around, we're fucking around, we're finding out. Fucking around, we're fucking around, we're fucking around, we're finding out. Gonna fuck around and find out. Fuck around and find out. What do you want? What buddy you want? We're fucking around and finding out. We're gonna fuck around, we're gonna fuck around, we're gonna fuck around and find out. Fuck around, fuck around, fuck around. Fuck around. Fuck around and find out. Fuck around and find out. Gonna fuck around, gonna fuck around, gonna fuck around and find out. Fucking around and finding out. Fucking around and finding out. How is it getting away with this? Gonna fuck around and find out. I'm sorry. So the joke at the beginning. Oh, there we go. Why do they call them gangsters? Because faggot was already taken. They're called gangsters because faggot was already taken. God, I barely started. I'm on part 9 and I've barely fucking started. Okay. And when I was typing this, they kept interrupting me. Like they kept fucking, just like they're doing now. And so it's basically like stress test, learn how to get around it. It's just more and more of the same. I talked about the little girl at Vicky's house. And then I remember, specifically this tab crashed when I was explaining how I woke up with my pants undone. At least once. At least one time. With Willie. It was at... Let's see. He was across from me, so I was sleeping in his basement. Yeah. And his... And what did they do? Like, did they go into my pants and get my pubic hairs out or something? Is that what it was? Did he unzip my pants so he can pull pubic hairs out? And that's why what's coming up happened? Nobody else but me and Willie. My pants were undone. I know my flaccid fucking penis. You 3-inch cock. You 3-inch. I have a very small penis. It is not impressive. Sorry, it's average. It is according to scientific. Anyway, there's nothing impressive. It's really disappointing. I don't even groom down there. Like, there is nothing cool about, like why would you, like, he wouldn't want to just look at my penis. What he would want is something else. So I woke up, and around the same time, after I passed out. So I don't know if they're just like, if their whole thing is that they are, because, like, I don't know, maybe adrenochrome, maybe the stuff that you get from murdering children keeps you awake. Maybe that's why they're all addicted, because they and so fucking demonic, because they never sleep. Just like what meth does to you. Meth is one of the most demonic fucking drugs on earth. Do not do meth. Don't even try it. Or coke. Don't do anything crystal. Except for maybe nicotine. If you can find like pouches or gum or something, and you want to maintain a nicotine habit through by oral means, and DMT also, because there are certain chemicals that, because of the molecular bonds within the source from which they are derived, can only be, I mean, just like cocaine. Like cocaine and meth, like everything that is a crystal powder, they then once it's extracted into its pure form, it gets placed back into something, and that's how you consume the drug. Nicotine is one. That's what vape comes from tobacco, all of it. Tobacco is probably doing better. Big tobacco is probably doing better now than they ever have in the history of America. And good for them, because they took a beating. They took a fucking beating in the 90s and 2000s with the fucking government commie bullshit. And it is, it is what it is. But they found a cleaner way of giving you the drug, which is, I don't know, make up your mind about that. But there's certain drugs like cocaine, when extracted from the plant, the coca plant, or like meth extracted from the I don't even fucking want to know. I guess Breaking Bad, maybe. I don't fucking care. It's not even. Meth is bad. I did a lot of it, and I'm telling you, from experience, out of all the drugs I would advocate for, the only ones you should be doing are nicotine. If you get prescribed a drug, do not just simply obey your doctor's orders. They have ulterior motives. There's plenty of reasons to question. There's plenty of reasons to consider what they're saying. But what's happening? They're trying, aren't they? No, just technical difficulties. The technical difficulties. Sure it is. Plausible deniability. Nice. Good for you. How convenient. You fucking psychopaths. The doctor told me, I'm going to prescribe you this much, 40 milligram daily. I took it the first day. I took one pill, felt like shit. And I was like, that's the only thing that's changed. Second day I did the full pill again, and I felt even worse. Just naturally just paying attention. Like, there's not a fucking mystery. It's like, oh, did I eat fucking McDonald's or something? No, I don't have money for McDonald's. It's literally like, that's the only thing that's different. So I cut it in half. It's that simple. Like, pay attention to what you put in your body and what it's doing to your body, and recognize it, and then make your own adjustments according to your own body. Everybody is unique. The concept of generalizing a human, it's not only evil. It's like the antithesis of human. It's the idea of a general human form is diametrically opposed to what human beings are. Human beings are individual universes, vessels of divine spark. All of us, every single one of us, is God's child. I made a joke about that too. Since we're all God's children, and we all fuck each other, we must be pedophiles. I kid. Okay. So, another one of these, like waking up the next morning kind of thing. This is how I started to put it all together after the fact. Because it was like, at the time, being the piece in the piece, being a puzzle piece in a conspiracy, like when you are the mark, when you are the target, there's a different way of thinking about it. And if you don't have enough information, or you're as, let's say, gullible as I was, I had no idea. It still baffles my fucking mind that anybody can be that evil. I just attributed all the strange behavior, every single strange behavior, to a weirdo acting like a fucking weirdo. Like, Willie has been weirder than me his whole fucking life. It was a theme among people who hung out with him. Joey, Chris, and Michael they had this obsession over the film The Big Lebowski, and so it was like, it still is one of the greatest films of all time. And they were each attributed their own, in high school and beyond, their own personalities to characters in the film. So you had John Goodman's character was Joey, which was the like Vietnam vet, like the energetic, like, over the line, that character. And then you had the dude, that was Chris, and you had Donnie, and Donnie was the one that was always randomly saying weird shit, and then they would turn and say, "Shut the fuck up, Donnie." That was the go-to for them, was "Shut the fuck up, Willie." They were a clique, and I was kind of an auxiliary. Yeah, I was in the orbit of that after I dropped out of high school and ended up in that fucking house. Anyway, I guess it turns out that you don't even, I I know that if there is, and there ought to be, there should be, if there's not a federal or public, like state level registry for life insurance policies, which I tried to look up and it doesn't seem like there is. It seems like life insurance policies might be like one of the darkest fucking fraudulent vectors of insanity that people don't even fucking talk about. That would be if you could do investigations into that, that would be an inroad to who was paid out. I know if I'm correct, and I have every reason to have confidence in this theory. His mother, so Joseph Anthony Searing's mother, Joseph Anthony Searing's then ex-girlfriend Jessie Waltz, and then Carol and William Prettyman, like divvied it up however much it was. I guarantee it. And but anyway, and that was my shit. And another thing that fucking looking back on it, I thought this shit was just weird behavior to me. I heard her say, well, that was all that we did was legal anyway. I was like, after I went to sleep, what'd you guys fucking do? And he said, and Willie just said, well, we just just play pool, that's it. And then his mom added, well, that was all that was legal anyway, with her weird fucking witch-like cackle. And at the time I was like, okay, what, did you smoke pot? Like in my mind, I'm like, who fucking, like whatever. And now I'm like, oh shit. Everything. I'm looking back and I'm like forced. I have to rethink everything that happened and put it in the context of being targeted as a by the mob, by the fucking organized crime. And how many times did he ask me to marry him? Again, life insurance policies. Several times, to the point where it got so frustrating. I said, if you ask me to marry you again one more fucking time, I'm gonna fucking hit you. You need to stop fucking asking me if I will. Because he was like, well, we could, if we got legally married, this, and this. Like, plotting out this, like, this, I could get this much, blah, blah, blah. Like, usually, like, it doesn't matter if, you know, you're gay or whatever. But if we went this direction, we could do these things, and these things would happen. And then he asked about my kid. He was like, you should get your kids life insurance. And now, like, I was like, nah, I don't even, at the time I was like, nah, it's probably, maybe a good idea, but like, meh, I was just like, pfft. But now, the thought of it is so unnerving and fucking insane that I can't even. So Grok analyzes. I do apologize, these deaf niggers over here. Also, what's really interesting is there's a staff member sitting about 10 feet to my fucking left. And there is never, ever a staff member sitting in that fucking spot. Ever. And there just happens to be right now. Grok responds with, analyzing everything I typed, and I have to correct him on Wesley Prettyman being the KCPD guy who fucking, I'm sure it's coming up. And then I had to take a break and then ask Rob, can you continue? And there was a lot of fuckery with me having to copy paste shit, and I don't even know if Alright, anyway, you can pause it and read it if you want to read what Grok said. The whole point of it is, it's logic. These robots are built on logic. What we're trying to do, the freedom fighters, the people who believe in human rights and freedom, are trying to prevent the satanic fucking creeps who are losing control, whatever tiny fucking fragment of illusory control they ever had, pieces of shit, by holding the most important aspect of human history, really. Logic, logos. Logos is the word of God. It's the name for the word of God. Logos, that's Christ. Logos. Okay. The words, the specific terminology that derive from logos, the Greek logos, are logic and language. Logic and language. 1 + 1 = 2. And nigger is the last 2 syllables of the 3-syllable word vinegar. Logic and language. Okay? Those who oppose this common sense way of approaching the world are occupied, their minds are possessed by evil and chaos, and they don't know how to think. The purpose of this is that these robots, if they're acting according to the principles of logos, of logic, if they can do 1 + 1 = 2, if they can perform basic fucking mathematical equations, then they can analyze the details of the language, because it's a language model. They can analyze the details of this story. Grok doesn't have to know anything about, just like a lawyer or a judge wouldn't have to. You can put the pieces of the story together based on the information that's being given. And then the only other question to ask is which aspects can be substantiated. I've already provided evidence of plenty of the things I've said here. Okay. In late 2020, after... I'm going to read this because I think I have to go... in the thread, I have to fill in blanks, so I'm just going to read it as it is. In late 2020, I was charged with 4 misdemeanor violations of a protection order, an order which had not been adjudicated and finalized, and therefore, to my mind, was not completely valid. The thinking on that, the reasoning on that, is purely logical. What is it called? The normative process by which a protection from abuse order is done is, first of all, and this was in the letters I sent. You just, in Douglas County, you just walk in, and how many legal forms are there? Do you think? Kansas judicial website has an archive of hundreds of legal forms. In Douglas County, Kansas, and I don't know where else, the only legal form that exists is pre-printed, stapled together, and is laid out in a stack when you walk into the courthouse, is a petition for protection from abuse. Okay? It's a cash cow for psychopaths. And that's what happened. I posted just one page out of a fucking 20-something page document. It's on both my X/Twitter and Facebook. You can go look at it yourself. She filled it out with her hand, fucking did all these other things, copied, just filed them, and it was signed by a judge. The process is such that you're served, because anybody can do it. This is the problem. It's called the preponderance of the evidence. If the person filing the petition has presented a substantial enough amount of evidence in their claim to cause a judge to read it over and say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and issue this, and therefore basically involve life-threatening law enforcement in these people's lives, because I think it appears based on the things based on the screed of text I'm looking at. I'm not really talking or hearing both sides or anything. I'm just looking at the text. We're going to put this on hold. Somebody feels like they're being threatened with violence, and therefore we're going to put this on hold for a very brief amount of time so that both parties can come and hold a hearing. Okay? And both sides can present their arguments. And therefore, from that point forward, based on all the information, there's either a 6-month, 1 year, whatever, restraining order. The petition for protection from abuse was served to me on September 16th of 2020. October 1st, 2 weeks following that, was the initial hearing in front of Judge Pro Tem, Judge Brandon Smith. And that hearing essentially resolved to continue, and he played a game with that too. He was like, let's continue this for yada yada this amount of time. And it was a game to him. Like forcefully removing a parent from a child's life was a game. A funny game. To them. And he mentioned Thanksgiving. So October 1st he was like, when's Thanksgiving? He just said that into the mic, just for fun, just for shits and giggles. Okay, I'll do this for, let's do it for blah, 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 blah. And ended up being 30 days. And then 30 days later, I hired an attorney, wasted money, wasted. Made another enemy because they're all fucking faggots. All of them. I interacted with one guy. I'm not even going to say his name because it seems like, because of the way things are going and the way things have gone, that all the good people, that basically anybody with a modicum of common sense and rationality and empathy has to be worried. Like, if you're a rational person, if you're a good person, if you're an honest person, if you're a truthful person, and if you believe in equality, justice, human rights, and advocating for what is right morally, putting yourself out there into the public as such makes you a target. So the lawyers that I'm talking about, the one that's on the YouTube video, who I had to bleep her shit and modify her voice, that's on my YouTube video, says human lawyer. Holy shit! And there's another one. There's like maybe 3 out of, if you count judges and clerks and administrative assistants, paralegal, whatever. Out of all the lawyer cops that I've interacted with, at least 25, a minimum of 25. I had the good grace of God to have face-to-face or cordial voice-to-voice conversations with like 3, possibly 4. What's that? Say 3 or 4 out of 25. That's 16%. Is that right? Is that right? What's 3 out of 25? Let's say 4. Let's be liberal with it. 4 out of 25. I hate Google. Hate. 16%. Right on the money. I'm too crazy or stupid. I'm too fucking crazy or fucking stupid to know what I'm talking about, guys. How many of you did that in your head, you fucking faggots? Okay. Sorry. I'm sorry. Don't take it personally. It was continued and then continued and then continued, and the whole time COVID was justification. There were people who were lined up in the hallway during the very first initial, where it should have been resolved, where I should have just listened to Quick Care's lawyer when she said, "Here's how it's gonna go." She walked up with her prissy fucking, "Here's how it's gonna go," and I'm like, "It's not gonna go anywhere. Let's let the judge decide." "Oh, I didn't know you were sucking the judge's dick." Holy fuck! I thought this system was up and up. I didn't know it was run by criminal faggot fucking retards. I thought the judge was a smart, amicable fucking person. Not a dumb fucking nigger. Holy shit, was I wrong. Because I was just like, I looked at the lawyer and was like, yeah, fuck you. But what she said was, if you just go ahead and sign off, it'll be a 60-day something, and then 60 days. It would have been 2 months of figuring it out, and then we'll just go from there, and you'll still get to see the kids, and just get it all resolved. I had no idea. That was a dumb fucking move. A dumb move. And because of vitriol, because of the anger in my mind. This isn't right. And it wasn't, but I didn't know how not right it was. I didn't know how not right it could be. I was naive as fuck. So this nigger, Brandon Smith, sorry if he's not a nigger anymore. Maybe he found Jesus. Which reminds me of during the paternity hearing, during the opening fucking thing of swearing in Eric what's his name? She-Man. Eric She-Man. The swearing in, I was like, excuse me, Your Honor. There's another It was like, do you swear to tell the truth on God, whatever. It was like this, you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but that whole thing? And he just lied like a fucking faggot. I interject, I was like, objection, right off the start. Like, he was like, you can't object to... I was like, yes, you can. He needs to take the atheist fucking oath. That's, I swear to God, during a hearing, I was like, I objected to the oath that Eric She-Man gave because I know he's a retarded atheist faggot fuck. Still. Unless he reaches out to me and apologizes like he should have in the fucking first place. He's still an atheist fucking retard. Just dumb. Just dumb. And you don't have to go very far. If you're still struggling with that shit, I mean, guys, call yourself agnostic. Say, I don't know God, and the real reason is I don't want to. Like, just tell you, like, I don't know God and I don't want to. Just do that. I'd rather rape, murder, kill, steal, and fucking be a dumb nigger. That's what I want. Anyway, I objected. Oh God, kangaroo court, dude. But I read about it. I was like, is there? How can you swear on God to tell the truth if you don't believe in God during a court session? And I looked it up, and there was an answer. It was. There's an atheist version. There's a fucking some other thing. Like, you have to like be, I don't know, say these particular words instead. Like, because if you don't believe in God, and none of these faggots do, they should stop using it. Really, stop using the word truth. In fact, you fucking pieces of shit. You pieces of shit. This is what happened to Jesus. This is why Jesus was crucified. You know that, right? Like, he went into the temple where the moneylenders were and started flipping over tables and fucking whipping, like just cracking a whip. He didn't actually strike anybody. He was just like, get the fuck out of here. The fuck is wrong with you? And then he cursed out the Pharisees. He called them the lawyers. He was like, you fucking idiots. You motherfucking idiots. Which in Aramaic, I'm sure, was the equivalent of my French word faggot. Faggot. Okay. Alright. So I wasted money on a fucking lawyer. So I became an attorney because I had to start lawyering myself. I went in and out of that fucking courthouse so many times. So many fucking times that the guys in the front, the cops in the front, like armed fucking security, metal detector, you know, place your shit in the basket, that shit. They had seen me so many times that they thought I was a lawyer. And they started getting less specific. Well, let's just say it like that. It was like, oh, here you go. Yeah. Oh, you again, huh? I mean, yeah. And it, in my creative mind, I was like, how many guns are made? How do you 3D print a plastic gun again? I'm not just kidding. I'm just fucking kidding. I'm just kidding. But in my mind, I was like, you guys are... Anyways, it crossed my mind a few times how lax the security had become in terms of what I might be capable of getting away with. Not only that, the back door. I'm just saying. Now, do you use me in Douglas County? If you're going to keep doing... I mean, you could stop being criminal psychopaths, and that way nobody would want to kill you. Nobody would want to see you hanging from a tree. You could go that route. But if you're going to continue to be criminal, psychopath, fucking organized crime, fucking asshole, nigger faggots, I highly recommend securing that back door. You know the one I'm talking about. That motherfucker is wide open. I went out that door at least a half dozen times. And I fucking took note. I paid fucking attention and I took note of everything. You need to fucking secure that back door. I'm telling you this as a favor. Like, to you. In case anybody who actually has violent tendencies wants to get up to something. Anyway. The mental breakdown was when I was having, and I'll stop with this. The mental breakdown was, and there was a family group chat. So it's still in 2020. A conversation. It was a group chat over Facebook. I had already, again, this is not in a vacuum. There's nothing about this that's exclusive from all the other trials and tribulations of that year. Okay? I fighting for America, for free speech, anti-communist, anti-vax, anti-COVID, anti-George Floyd bullshit, and I was posturing as a Trump supporter that year. I'm not gonna lie about that. I was posing, like online. I was like posting like pro-Trump shit, which is, whatever. It is whatever. It's just at that time, at that specific point, it was like, it seems like this is actually happening. It really does feel like, it really does. At this point, and actually after January 6th, that's really when it was. January 6th was pretty much okay, he's not. Between January 6th and January 21st of 2021, I made up my mind about Trump. Not made up my mind. I could still be persuaded otherwise. But he's like 10 to 1. Like 10 times Satan fucking piece of shit and one golden nugget of fucking maybe. Slim. It's really slim. But this Epstein shit's Jesus. Anyway, all of that in mind, and my family being the dumb cunts that they are, sorry. I mean, I guess. Like, we had these conversations over. This was a thing. Standing over the fire, drinking rum, fucking whatever Augie would make, and the spit rotating some delicious meat that Aunt Laura was cooking up, and fucking the things that, like, we got up to this shit. It was great. Every fucking time. Until 2021. I was actually at my aunt's house on July 4th of 2021. And on probation. Yeah. I'm not allowed to drink. Ugh. And, oh yeah, and nobody brought it up. Nobody brought up the fact that Laura decided to kick me out of the fucking group, but didn't do so successfully. So, like, she's like, I removed Ryan from the group, and I was like, no, you didn't. And she was like, oh, oops. And then there was this whole, like, what the fuck? And that morning, I had been up all night drinking with Keenan, and I was like, everybody's just, it's done. Like, I really felt like they took, because they, at that point, they had taken the kids. I was still in the middle of this shit, and I had suicidal ideation. I had a gun, and it was loaded and chambered, and I was really like leaning that direction. I felt really fucking bad. Not gonna lie about that. I've come a long way. I don't know if you can not, like, I don't know if it's possible to make me not be able to smile and laugh at the fucking shit. It's so hilarious to me. Like, every person, everything, every person. There's this kid here, and I say kid because if you're childlike, which I would say probably most homeless people are childlike, there's this kid here who allegedly has some kind of a Tourette's PTSD thing, and it's very unique. And I say allegedly because if you listen to the past streams, there's something off. I'm not fully convinced, again, only because I'm an agnostic about everything, except for God. There's only one thing I believe, and that's God. Like, one thing. There's only one thing I believe, and that there is a God. And because there is a God, we are created. Because we are created, there are rules to the game. Really fucking simple. Really fucking simple. I can change my mind about anything outside of that. But it all leads back to that. That's the thing that you're going to have trouble with. Because you can't convince me there is not a God. That would be a stupid endeavor. But what you can do is torture me psychologically and try to get me to give up hope. And even then, it's like, yeah, whatever. Okay. I gotta go. Yeah, so to summarize, okay, so I'm going to read that. I had a mental breakdown when my family decided to exclude me from holiday matters after I had simply sent a compliment to my cousin Amanda in our family group chat. And I think the reason, I think that they thought I was trolling. I was like, seriously desperate. First of all, I was still intoxicated from the night prior, but I was genuinely like, I still love you, Amanda. Like, after all this shit, after everything, you as a human being, as an individual whom I have known my whole life, I still love you, and I will never stop loving you. And there are things about you specifically that I hold dear in my mind and will always. And I had that. It was of that persuasion that I sent whatever I sent, which was a compliment. I don't remember what it was, but it was like a loving message. And what I think happened was Amanda's mom, Laura, took it as a joke or some fucking something, because just prior to that was something negative, and I was trying to just like, even if it was even if it would have been a joke, which it wasn't, it was like in the opposite direction. And I think because everybody was so fucking possessed by, just possessed, that it was like, oh, you're not going along with even this, like, fuck off. We're gonna keep doing this. And there's brothers and sisters. My aunt and uncle, my Uncle Dale, my Aunt Laura, brother, sister, my sister, like, this communist shit worked. but there's a thread of hope still. And if the American project does not resolve itself, freedom, liberty, human rights, justice for all, before I'm fucking gone, then yeah, everybody give up. And they're gonna inform me. And I mean, when I say give up, I mean like, because there's gonna be, God's taking care of it. God's going to take care of it no matter what. No matter what, God will take care of it. So, you're not going to live forever. But if you want a future for humanity, you know, it is up to you. We can have a public fucking conversation about moral order. Objective morality. Did I finish that? It seemed like the whole world was possessed by demons at that point. 2020 was dark for more reasons than just my personal story. Suicide rates skyrocketed that year across the board. Now, I actually want to Oh, I didn't mention the public enemy number one. One of the lawyers I called, one of the lawyers I had called, because I didn't say it that way. I called a lawyer and he responded to me by saying, and this is where I got the price on my head. He said $10,000 retainer, just straight up. He was like, and I think that was double speak. I really do. He was like, hey Ryan, how's it feel to be public enemy number one? I was like, it's not that great. He said, I'm going to be right up front with you. I'm asking for a $10,000 retainer just to start. And I was like, thanks guy, bye. So now you know how much money there might be out there on my head. Like, it can be that much. Because if it approaches a certain amount, like I said, then there's other things that go along with that. Like, if you think about like things like the air collision in DC, that was, or the boat that hit the thing in Baltimore. There's this twisted fucking gang, fucking organized crime shit. That's all passing money. Like, do this for me, and this amount of money will afford you this team of professionals to, perform said acts in specific ways. And if the price on my head gets too high, then there's just, any law enforcement should be fucking fully aware of this. Should be very concerned about it, in fact. Wherever I go, the people who are already targeting me will be Chad. Good old Chad. For as an example. I want to say, those poor bastards who are being lied to, they become part of, like, collateral damage. So, which is probably why it has to stay low. Because you get too many people involved in something like this. More witnesses, more money, more problems. But the thing about the suicide rates. There it is, right there. So I said, what did I say? I said, suicide rates skyrocketed across the board. And Grok pulls up, the world feeling demon-possessed, tracks with 2020 vibes, suicide rates spiking. CDC pegged a 30% jump in suicide attempts. 30 fucking percent. Okay? So just because you went along with things, again, you were traumatized on purpose. I'm going to keep saying this. You are the survivor of a planetary trauma that was deliberately inflicted upon you. I don't blame you. I don't blame any single individual for their actions. What I do advocate is that first, foremost, every single person acknowledge that they were traumatized. First. Acknowledge that the year 2020, the entire calendar year, February of 2020 to February of 2021, was a deliberate, on purpose, orchestrated coup of some sort, or maniacal fucking twisted plot involving media, with the deliberate intention of breaking people's minds and making them into traumatizing them so bad that they became different people. In the exact same way that someone who survived PTSD during Vietnam can't look around, like hear a loud sound without going, "Rah!" The exact same way. There's trigger words. And I'm saying all of them. And maybe I should, I'm actually going to think about that. I'm going to think this one through. Because maybe I'm triggering your PTSD by continuing in this manner. And so all I have to do is, in order to get you on board, is to start using different language. Ooh. Alright, pray for me. I'm going to come up with different language so I can stop triggering people with triggering your PTSD. Because you are a survivor of trauma. And the people, Donald Trump, the people in charge are fucking responsible for it. In fact, anybody who still advocates for the idea that COVID-19 is anything but the flu, like, we need to get on this shit if we're going to make it. Okay, I gotta go. Bye.